It's getting kind of late. That's why I'm, big T, and it's hot as hell today. But I'm doing this confession series, and it makes sense for me to do this one on Chuck. This is gonna. I honestly don't even know where to go on this, Sometimes I hate the guy's guts. Because he is so. Sometimes he's on the right track, but he's doing it all the wrong way, But that could just be because I'm a male, he's a male, that kind of thing. Very rarely do I mix well with male, but I can't even say that. Me and Granddad do pretty well. The one thing that pisses me off about Chuck, my dad, is that he will always say, "Oh, if you ever need anything, come to me. I always make time for you." In reality, he really doesn't, because he can't. My dad works like all the time, from like 7 to like 1 in the morning. He's always working. He barely has time to do much of anything else. Magnum got him really busy. He wears like several different hats. He's a traffic manager. He's a radio personality. He's the IT guy. That's he's it. Him and like me and Bobby, and not even me. I feel like I'm just the body that he talks to, and he hears his own voice, and his own mind kind of figures out the answer. But he's so busy with like the computer stuff with Magnum, the radio stuff with Magnum, and their system is so outdated. They need to upgrade, but because it's so outdated, he does twice as much work. But that's what he knows how to do. I almost want to say, like, if they upgraded the system, I'm not sure he'd be able to handle it. But I digress. He doesn't have time. He never has time. Even for discussions, it's kind of like, he tries to rush it. It's like, yeah. Well, what? And it's kind of like, then what am I talking to you for? Because one of the things I hate it when he says is, you know what? Do this. Problem solved. Go away. He doesn't say go away, but he like problem solved. What more do you want? And I understand in some situations, kind of like, oh, the solution is very easy for you to do. But problems never go away that simple. Problems never just like, boom, that's it. And you never think about it. You never worry about it. You never confront it again. That's not how problems work. Sometimes you have to talk through it. Sometimes you have to understand each other's point of view. Not just be on the same book or even the same page. Sometimes you have to be on the same word. And he skips over words. He's like, oh, this word isn't important. For instance, with Sue, with Mom, I thought the day that LaFall died was the 12th. I knew it was like a very few days before Tyler's birthday. But it was really the 10th. I believed it was the 12th because I was having conversations with Granddad, and he made me think it was the weekend, which, the 12th fell on the weekend, the 10th fell on the weekday. That semantic, that little detail changed the relationship between me and my mom, Sue. So, to say the semantics don't really matter, the thing is that semantics matter. Diction matters, the right words, the right choice, the right things, those things matter, the small stuff. They kind of matter. Do you sweat the small stuff repeatedly? No, but you can't ignore the fact that they are important. And he repeatedly kind of does that. Like, okay, well, the small shit don't matter. The big picture is this. And I understand the big picture needs to be seen, but the details have to be revealed so that the big picture can be understood, not just seen. And sometimes that pisses me off that he's just kind of like, get on with it. What's, da-da-da-da-da. He is trying to be a good man. He wasn't a good man before. He was kind of like an enforcer. And trust me, I know what it's like to be an enforcer. I wasn't the best, but I was one. One of many. He was also in jail, so was I. We both look at life differently. Things got to get done. I see that, so does he. We just go about it different ways. I respect him for the man that he agreed to allow himself to be. Not only for the love of Sue, but for the idea of a better life. But he wasn't always a good man. He used to be, ooh, a bore. He strike the fear in your heart kind of dad. You know, he's not afraid to beat the crap out of you in public if you're going to do something stupid. He's gotten better, though, because he knows he needs to be. And he gets that. Matter of fact, today, Tyler's been working. And every now and again, Dad needs a physical job and needs numbers over than, skills sometimes. And Tyler was working a couple hours. Like, a year ago, I was working at the haunted house. And Dad was like, hey, do you mind if we financially work this out so that you can help out the family and you still get a little bit of your money? And Tyler's like, yeah, who's going to say no to that? Who's going to say no to, like, yeah, I want to help my family out? But the thing is that Simon always goes, well, he manipulates that situation. I go, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, remember the time that you were going to pay the electric bill, $300? No, it was $200. And it was a time that you were still holding the $300 so that you can do other things with the money. You were just paying that one particular bill. But every time you would want to pay that particular bill, he's like, hey, just give me the money and I'll cover the bill. And I want to trust him. He's my dad. But I couldn't tell you how many times the next month he'd be like, oh, this wasn't paid. Huh, great. He's like, oh, shit. But, that's in the past. Don't worry about it. Worry about the future. Pay the next one. And that's when I decided, like, not only take that bill, but also, throw some cash his way so, he still has money to kind of cover his ass. But, like, it's the idea that he doesn't keep to his word too often, He got a lot of things going on. I get that. He also lost a daughter. I get that, too. He got a lot of kids to worry about. It's, me, Lenan, Bobby, CJ, Tyler, Nakoma. And that's, like, the ones in the household. We can't forget the strays like Bond, Brandon, Sadie whenever she comes over. Shit, he has to handle all that. And, the finances and the running of all that. Even though he claims, I'm not the boss. Like, he says, oh, I'm not the boss of this household, but he is. He's the alpha. Because nothing can get done without his say-so or go-ahead or thumbs up. Even if something's like, oh, I don't want to deal with this, you take care of that. That's still him giving that responsibility to somebody else. He is the alpha, and that's one of the reasons why it's hard for me to live here, because I am old enough to be my own alpha. Granted, the last time I was an alpha, my wife Jasmine and Xavier, it didn't go too well. Not that I did much of anything wrong, because like I said, I paid my bills. We made sure things happened, and not only that, Jasmine made money, and I made sure she, my bills went to the household, because what else do I really need to pay for? And she kept her money. We didn't argue about money per se that often. I'm not saying we never did, but I was still. It was the council members. We controlled that. Me, Jasmine controlled that household for Xavier. Chuck and Sue control are the head council members of this household. They control and have to say so what goes on here. And I just feel like it's not where I want to be, because this isn't mine. This house isn't mine. These rooms aren't mine. I don't, like, yeah, I pay a bill, but that's because the bill's in my name to help them out. So I can build my credits, and when I do get out, I can be like, okay, well, I got this. I've been doing this. I have proof that, like, I can do this. Because when I left my last place, when I got incarcerated, my nan was supposed to take care of that. Well, she didn't. Things lapsed. And it seems like, Dad does that too. That's why I'm taking care of my own bill, because I know if I hand it off to somebody else, it's not going to get done. Dad has a lot on his plate. I mean, I am giving him the benefit of the doubt. But the thing is that he's my dad. I'm supposed to. I love him. I do. He knows the fuck out of me sometimes, but sometimes he comes up with pretty good sayings. Like last weekend. Last weekend, we were changing the oil of the Ford Taurus. And he's like, Nick, come over here. I'm like, what? He's like, you want to change the oil thing, right? Like, yeah, I'm working on this with you. I want to be able to have the skill so I can do it myself when I get my own car, when I get my, And he goes, well, I want to tell you something very, very important. I'm like, what is it? He's like, this is very important, not just for a man, but for a man who is married. This is extremely important, so I need you to focus exactly on what I'm saying, right? I'm like, all right. He's like, all right, we took out the plug for the oil. We let it drain out. I'm like, yep, we did all that. I was like, all right, what's next? Like, this part is the most important part. He pulls out 2 chairs. We're outside, underneath the canopy in the back. Pulls out 2 chairs, sits in one, points me to sit on the other. I sit down. Pulls out a cigarette, lights it up, puts it in his mouth, looks out into the backyard and all things beyond, and says, this is the most important part. Sit down. You got to be here to make sure that the oil jumps out. You have to be present when the car is doing this. But it allows you to sit back and just kind of be. And the reason I say this is important in a man, especially a man who is married, is because the wife thinks that this takes about 4 to 5 hours of actual hard work. Honestly, it's about an hour or 2 hours of used to sitting here making sure the oil comes out. I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like, no, think about it. You're sitting here, and you're just being. You are doing the job because you have to make sure the oil gets out. But you actually get to sit and relax a little bit. You're not running around. You know how busy I am. I'm like, yeah, I see how busy you are. I was like, look, as busy as I am, I'm making time. Making time for me. You need to do the same thing. I'm like, yo, Dad, there's too much shit to do. It's like, yeah, I get that. And I know that you are the kind of person that likes to, you find happiness in success and advancing and doing things. But sometimes you just kind of have to step back and be like, I'm just going to chill. I'm not going to try to obtain a goal. I'm not just going to, I'm not going to focus my efforts, every effort on doing something. I'm not, like, because we're all doing something. Sometimes you just got to sit back and be like, you know what? Today's a day. It's nice outside. Birds chirping, kids playing, people cutting grass. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the fact that you're alive. So we sat there. And we just soaked it all in as the oil seeped out. Moments like that made me glad that I'm around. Ever since Jasmine left, I've been trying to work my ass off so that I get into a routine of not resting. Because I believe that was one of the problems that she actually wanted to leave. It didn't seem like I was doing enough. But he's right. This time. Because sometimes he's not. And sometimes I just say it so that, like, we stop talking. But this time he was right. Sometimes you just gotta sit back and just enjoy being. He's still an asshole, though. Don't get me wrong. But he's my asshole. Fuck out of here. Fucking moth. There we go. Dead. Yeah. That just happened. He pisses me off. He does. Sometimes he got good things to say, though. Maybe tomorrow I'll let him know that I appreciate him. I'll say that between some kind of errand. Mom going out the door like, hey, Dad, I appreciate you. See ya. Love you. Bye. I might do that tomorrow. I don't got no words of wisdom for him. None that he will listen to anyway. But maybe just so he knows he's appreciated a little bit. Me being a dad, I think that's better than all the gold in the world. That's what he shows me. What it's like to be a dad. Real quick, this is one time. My daughter Sarah was she was hanging out with this guy alone. His name's Bond. My dad found out I was kind of pissed about it, but I didn't want to say too much because she's old enough to kind of be like, hey, my life. My dad's like, hey, watch this. And he goes, hey, Sarah? She's like, yeah. He's like, you're fucking up. Stop fucking up. And I'm telling you fucking up because I love you. I love you because even though you're not biologically Nick's daughter, he adopted you, wants you to do well. And because of that, I want you to do well. And no, because of that, I love you. You are like my granddaughter. So stop fucking up. Stop being with guys alone, especially guys like Bond. Not that Bond's bad, you can do better. And when he's having this conversation with her, I'm sitting back going like, I should be taking notes. But mentally I was, because I'm talking to you guys about it now, but things like that, you know, helps me understand a little bit more that, yeah, sometimes tough love works. And that's how it works for him. I appreciate him for that. I still hate the fact that he has no time. Makes no time. Can't make time. And doesn't know how to. But he understands that time is there and needs to be appreciated when you can. And that the people around you, if they're around you, then they're worth saving. At least trying to. He's been a good man. He took me in. He took Josh in. Heck, he was about to take Brandon in to realize that, you know, some things were kind of fishy. But he's a good man. He's a good man. Jokes around way too damn much. He's not serious as me. And he's decaying a little bit more. Back problems and everything. But I still love him. Always will. Always going to. Dad, if you ever see this. Chuck, if you ever see this. I love you. Alright, fat man?